Hello, guys. Welcome once again to our YouTube live, and we're going to be going over the market. Just
Hello
a quick.
guys, welcome once again to
Why
our YouTube
I
and
okay.
we're going to be
Sorry.
going over the market. Just Hello guys,
Okay, I just wanted to fix that echo. So yeah, we're going to go over the market. I'm just going to look at some assets like gold, Euro USD, GBP USD, and maybe one JPY pair. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, share entire screen. Yep. No. Okay. So please can you all see my screen? If you can see my screen, please do let me know in the chat box if you can see my screen. Okay, so last week was NFP, so this week we're going to be having CPI and PPI coming up this week, right? I think PPI is on Wednesday and CPI is on Thursday, right? So possibly we're going to be seeing the NFP effects all through this month running into interest rates, right? So what will I be looking out for gold? Gold is relatively still bullish, but we're going to mark out some important level that we can, look for buys in this week, right? So the first level I'm going to mark out is this hidden base on weekly. This is very important in case we have a deep retracement, right? That is in case we have a deep retracement, right? On daily as well, we can see what actually happened here is price creating a support and going back, returning into its trend. So if I mark this out here, where is my okay? So price broke a institutional level and retested and it's going up. So this is actually what happened here, right? So currently this is a very important level as well. We're not going to ignore it. So but we have a deep retracement into weekly hidden base, which is at 446. So I think even market will want to dip into there. It's probably maybe BCPI that will dip it there. So, but yeah, we should, if we should see a good confirmation at the 3561, then that price is the price for us to keep running up in the trend, right? So, getting into tomorrow before CPI, I'll be observing if I can get a level, right, a good level around there. um, I'm going to look for a buys, right? Like that. So, but since we're on all-time high now, you wouldn't want to be greedy. So you have to be very, very conservative and also do not put too much greed on your trading, right? Because we're on gold, we're all-time high. So we can label this here, and if we take the 4-hour order block, we could see it's in line with our um, discount level, right? It's in line with our discount level, which is 61.70, 78.6, and all of that. So those are the prices that I will be paying attention for gold buys, right? For gold buys. For me to take a good sell, honestly, fundamentally, I don't see any momentum or volume of bearish bears coming into gold at the moment. But yeah, if you're trading 5 minutes, you can scalp it. For example, right? If you're trading 5 minutes, you can scalp it, but do not take or want to take more than 50 pips when you're scalping, right? So, but for you to be on the line with on the same page with the trend, then I advise you look for a buy. So the key levels for this week, right? The key levels for this week, the first one is the 3561, which we could potentially see a buy there. But in case, right, in case we see a huge profit taking, they also observe that level, because if we come below it, then we can take a short-term sell on that level, running into the weekly or weekly key level, which is at 3445, right? So in case we break that level, right, do not just stay idle, right? Then you wait for the retest of the same key level, and then we sell into 3445. 3445, yeah, exactly. So, and from there we'll continue our buy trend. So these are two scenarios, but the momentum is really high, and when price comes to this level, we should make sure we start taking a little bit of buy in case we fly from that level. So that is the only level I'm paying attention to on gold on this week, right? So yeah, now let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin already it on a buy trend. Yeah, I mean this buy, right? The Mindfire bot gave us this buy, and I'm already in it, and you can see it here on my trading view, right? I'm in 95 pips. I'm in 95 pips. Sorry, 100 pounds profit already, right? This is the account that I started with $46, 46 pounds, and yeah, currently we have made profit of 2,000 pounds so far, and I have this running trades, right? And I took it based on the Mind5 bot, right? This buy, it gave us the buy. So on BTC USDT or BTC USD, I'm actually looking at BTC, getting back into its bullish movement, because it has broken this major channel here, and it has been creating higher highs and higher low of recent, even on higher time frame. So yeah, I should expect a buy on BTC USD, and the buy has begun. So what you want to do, if you understand the order flow of the charts, you can just be looking for order flows of buyers on Bitcoin, and you can be running into them, right? So, but for me to comfortably say that we have flipped the switch on BTC, I want to see it get above this level here. So it should get to 115. So if it gets to 115, any higher low is a potential buy for it, right? So currently is on a critical level. So when we get above $115,000, then we have a retest of 13. Then from there, price will just be creating higher lows and be moving upward. So what you want to do is to be catching the higher lows, right? You want to be catching the higher lows. So that is what BTC, honestly, for now, it's creating that bullish order flow, right? So, but this is in case it decide to flip the switch and go down. This is the max level I'm looking at here for BTC to reach. So, looking for major buys on these levels right here. So, anything below the 104, I'm gonna take a huge risk there, buying into all-time high on BTC USD, right? So that is what I'm looking at on BTC USD. So now let's look at GBP or let's start with Euro USD. So let's see what Euro USD is doing, how the last week closed, right? Euro USD have been in this range, getting to I think almost since from June all the way to September, Euro USD have been ranging on the weekly chart, so we should expect a breakout anytime soon. So on the weekly chart, it's not that clear for us. On monthly chart, okay, we can see a clean break and retest on monthly chart, meaning it's really want to go up. So, but sometimes it comes to test the previous month low before it keeps going up. So I'm just going to mark that level in case price want to test that, and we know that is where we can go strongly on the buys, right? So we're going to mark that level. So now let's look at the daily. The daily also have been looking very, very choppy, right? A very, very choppy because it has been ranging. And so let's just mark out the high on the daily, right? So let's also mark out this untapped OB, which is this level here, right? Which is highest 6494. Yeah, so let's look at 12 hours, nothing serious on 12 hours. On 4 hours, so let's look at on 4 hours. So price have formed a new higher high here, right? And we have this as a daily OB level. So what we want to see is for market to create a narrative, a build up, right? So we can see market is creating a build up already. So we want market to actually form, if you can get, liquidity piling up, building up, then we can consider making a high of the week around that level. Only if we get a build up. If we don't get a build up, then we have to wait for, more confirmations if it comes down to this level, right? Very, very important. That is the higher time frame level that we have on Euro USD. So pretty much most of the XXX USD pairs are bullish at the moment, right? So it's only a huge breaking news fundamentally that can change that. But for now, all the data that came out last week were very poor for the dollar. And we have interest rate cuts almost 99% odds of it at the moment. So that means XXX USD should be on its way up, right? So this is just first scenario. In case we have a deep retracement, guys, in case we have a deep retracement, actually before NFP, I wanted price to come down to this untapped order block here, right? Before it start going up, but it didn't come to that level. So in case we have a deep retracement, for sure, then that level is what is dragging the price to come down. So in case we have a deep retracement, this is where you should buy, right? In case we have a deep retracement. For now, I don't see any self formation for me, except you want to take a scalp, and yeah, you're fine to take a scalp. If you have a build up on 4 hour, maybe, like this ranging, then if it range fine, we look for a hidden beast, and then we sell down to either this level or this level, right? So easy. That is how Euro USD should possibly play out as well. So it won't be much of a difference with GBP USD. They're all birds of the same feather, right? They're all birds of the same feather. So let's look at the weekly. Weekly is also still ranging, but yeah, it's looking like it wants to break out. But we're going to mark out some key levels on the weekly. We have that level, that support there, and we have this resistance that was tapped. We also have that level up there that is untapped. So we're just going to pay attention to this level as well. Let's look at what's happening on the daily. On the daily, these resistance have been tapped in. We have a order block that is untapped as well, which is here on the daily. And we also have a strong low, which is this level. So I think GBP USD is looking more interesting than Euro USD. Look at the 4 hours, right? So if you look at the 4 hours, in case we have a deep retracement, this will be a nice buy. I wouldn't take the other block because that other block have a build liquidity. So price can just literally just tap in here and keep buying for the week. So this will be a nice setup for GBP USD. I will take GBP USD. I'll take GBP USD and not take Euro USD. Why? Because GBP USD looks more clean. So this is what I'll be looking at on GBPUSD. So let me just look at my trade that I took with the Mind5 bots. Okay, it's still just ranging here. It has been a slow day. This was where the Mind5 will give us the buy on BTC USD. It's just moving. So I don't know. Probably in the morning I see £200, £300, because it look like it really want to explode and close this level. But yeah, I have a take profit up there on that high, which is take profit is like how much? Let me see if I can touch it. Okay, I can modify it. Take profit. The take profit is like £500. £500. That's almost 1 million naira. So if that is the take profit, fine and good. So let's continue. We are here on GBPUSD. Potential buy looking at 33940, 33940 on GBP USD. So yeah, those are usually the currencies I trade. And let me come if I see we have any question. Okay, we don't have any question yet. So, but possibly those are the currencies that I trade. And I'm just going to take one JPY pair, which sometimes I look at it. GBP JPY. It used to be my friend, but last month it has been ranging too much and I just ignore it. So, and I say to myself, I want it to actually break this range before I actually decide what to do with it. So, with these interest rates, possibly see it breaking down, right, because of the cuts. So, I'm going to take my chances on this unmitigated order block here, right, on the daily, and we'll look at the 4 hours, right. So, we're going to make sure it's in our discount level. If not, we can adjust it. Okay, fine and good is under our discount level, so you can take it that level. It's quite okay, or you can decide to take this level here, right? Depending on how price comes to it. Currently, I will need a build up before I take that level. But if I don't get a build up before I take that level, I'll take a deep level there, which is the 1470. So all those levels, I'll pay attention. I'll pay attention to them. So I look at the 1 hour. Yeah, so the 4870 looks more promising. So, but if price doesn't go there directly, if price have a build up around here, we can still take our daily level, right? We can still take our daily level, which is going to be this level here, right? So it all matters. It depends on the build up. If price build up below that level, then we can consider it. We can consider it. So yeah, that is one JPY pair, and we're going to see how the week go runs out. This week we just have two important fundamentals. Yeah, so we're going to pay attention to that. Can gold ever reverse to overall downtrend? Yeah, it can reverse. Everything depends on policies. So everything depends on policies. If the U.S. Federal Reserve decide to bring out a policy that will definitely be very bearish for gold, then of course it's going to be bearish for it. So that is why we always pay attention to fundamentals. So at the moment, the fundamentals are bullish for gold, right? So, but we don't know what will be the policies next. So you keep yourself in touch with the policies. Major things that make gold to reverse into a downtrend, especially when we don't have or we don't have like too much war going on. One of the major event affecting gold at the moment is because of the war, the Gaza war, the Russia war, the Iranian threats, all of that it's affecting gold badly because there's too much uncertainty of where the war can end or where it can lead to. So when we have a peaceful environment with no war, then gold can, investors can move their money from gold and to other instrumentals investments, right? So and also there are policies like interest rates, all of these things affect gold. So if economics and countries decide to start increasing their interest rates and just to attract investors, what investors usually do is to sell their gold and take advantage of those almost risk-free investment because they give them as fixed instrument, fixed return. They don't have the stress to like go through the volatility of our gold and all of that. They no guarantee this is what we're gonna earn if you put this amount, excess amount money. So yeah, those are the things that can make gold to reverse the overall trend. So but for now, everything is bullish. So yeah, we've come to the end of the YouTube live. Just wanted to make it short. I appreciate all of you that took your time to come in here to listen to me and also learn from what we have going into this week. So see you guys on the next live. Goodbye.